What's poppin' YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Astro Finesse. It's your boy Lil Finesse Jiggy Hippie, back with another video for y'all. And this video right here, we're gonna be talking about if you have Chiron in the 5th house or in the sign of Leo. And I'll pause for the cause. If you don't know how to find your Chiron placement, if you're a new subscriber, if you're just starting off your journey of self-love, self-knowledge, self-understanding, if you don't realize why it's so important that you have to look at yourself through astrology, you have to study yourself through astrology, and to love yourself through astrology and numerology, don't worry, I got you. There's a couple of videos. I'll put the link in the description. You have to watch them first to become hip to the knowledge of what I'm about to talk about right now. So if you look at your birth chart or your natal chart, it's the same thing, and you realize you have Chiron in the 5th house or in the sign of Leo, this video is for you. So without further ado, let's just get it popping, shall we? And you already know before I start, I'm going to give y'all a list of some celebrities so y'all can visually see what Chiron in the 5th house people look like and act like in reality. Then I'm going to have a list of celebrities that have Chiron in the sign of Leo. So to start, we got Kim Kardashian, Megan Fox, John Lennon, Cristiano Ronaldo, Alicia Keys, Meg Thee Stallion, Missy Elliott, Richard Pryor, and Russell Wilson. And now these are the celebrities that have Chiron in the sign of Leo. We have Ariana Grande, Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus, Bruce Lee, Demi Lovato, Jimi Hendrix, Muhammad Ali, Cardi B, Mac Miller, and Travis Scott. Alright, so boom, Chiron in the 5th house or Chiron in Leo. First of all, what does Chiron mean? What does Chiron represent in our birth chart? So Chiron in our birth chart shows us where in our life, depending on the house it's in and the sign it's in, shows us where in our life that we have a vulnerability, shows us where in our life we have a wound already. It's considered a wounded healer. It shows us where in our life we come into this lifetime already wounded or tarnished because of our childhood experiences, our childhood traumas in that area in life. It's not a planet, it's an asteroid that orbits in between Saturn and Uranus. So that for it to be easily understood, you can put those two energies together as a Saturn energy makes us pessimistic on ourselves, makes us restrictive on ourselves, hard on ourselves in this area in life. And after we have healed from these things, after we have worked on ourselves internally on these things, the Uranus energy will help us liberate ourselves and also help heal others and liberate others as well. Uranus is all about healing and helping liberate humanity as a whole. So where does wounded healer word come from? To understand this, I gotta take y'all way back in the Maybach to a Greek mythological story about where Chiron actually came from. So Chiron, to start off, Chiron's father, his name is Kronos or Saturn. Chiron's father had a reputation for eating his children because Chiron's father, Kronos, was a god, so he was afraid that his children would become gods and overthrow his power. So Chiron's father was out looking for one of his sons, Zeus, because in the future, Zeus actually came to overthrow Kronos' power anyway. So Kronos was out looking for Zeus. Kronos, as he's looking for Zeus, came across a nymph called Philyra. He was attracted to Philyra, so he wanted to get with Philyra, but she did not want nothing to do with Kronos. Understand this part. Philyra did not want nothing to do with Kronos, so she turned herself into a mare or a female horse to run away from Kronos. Kronos turned himself into a horse to get with Philyra. So he got with Philyra and they created Chiron. So remember, Philyra did not want nothing to do with Kronos. So Chiron is a bastard child. He is not wanted. He came out all different, half horse, half god, half human. So Chiron's mother Philyra was very ashamed. She did not want nothing to do with Chiron. So she abandoned Chiron at birth. So now out came Apollo. Apollo saw Chiron by himself and kind of took him under his wing. Apollo was the god of enlightenment, the god of light. So he came and started teaching Chiron things about enlightened information, about poetry, music, astrology, healing, herbs. He started teaching Chiron things about life. To the point that Chiron actually became like a master healer, a master teacher. Chiron actually became like a very prominent figure in that lifetime, teaching other gods, training other gods, and actually became like a master healer. So that's where the healing energy came from. So now fast forward, Remember, Chiron's father is Kronos, a god. So that means Chiron himself is a god himself. He's immortal. He cannot die. So Hercules was having a fight with other centaurs, and Centaur is a half man, half horse. Hercules accidentally hit Chiron in the hip with a poison arrow. So because of this wound that Chiron has now, and because Chiron is immortal, he cannot die, Chiron, being a master healer, was healing others, but he had a wound that he couldn't heal himself. That's where you get the wounded healer thing from. So it comes all the way to the point that Chiron was begging the gods to please kill me so I could die because this wound is unbearable, the pain is too much. And that's where they say the constellation of Sagittarius came in, was when Chiron finally Chiron's finally able to die and rest in peace, and the constellation of Sagittarius came in the sky. So all that put together, all that fast forward put together, is where you get the wounded healer effect coming in. So what does that mean for you and your birth chart? Chiron shows you where your wound is, first of all. It shows you where you got to heal yourself, first of all. That's the wound. And after you heal yourself, you are then able to liberate yourself and to liberate others and heal others in the process. That's where the wounded healer comes in. So what does it mean having Chiron in the 5th house, or Chiron in Leo? So now, understand that 5th house energy, Leo energy, is all about being creative, creativity. Leo is ruled by the sun, so shining, being like the center of attention, being the star of your show, having self-esteem, having confidence, having that sense of inner strength and inner confidence to shine your light and to shine your brightness, to shine your creativity, to shine your talents. So having Chiron here shows you that your wound is when it comes to expressing yourself, expressing your true talent, expressing your true creativity, expressing your true self-esteem. Your self-esteem would have got tarnished as a child. And now understand that Leo is ruled by the heart. So this could manifest in, these people take rejection very, very seriously, and they take it to heart. They take rejection very, very seriously. So the wound is, growing up as a child, you could have been the type that loves to sing all the time, dance all the time, be free, be creative, and then your environment, your parents, your teachers, your peers, people in school would have told you like, yo, why are you doing that? Or they would have shunned you for being creative and expressive. They would have shunned you for being able to express yourself freely. You would have felt shunned to the point that as you're growing up, because of that fear, because of that traumatic past, because of that you not being able to express yourself freely, you kind of grow up and have that pessimistic attitude, as in like, I'm not good enough, or my talents are not good enough. I can't be the star of the show. My self-esteem is tarnished because I wanted to express myself growing up. It got tarnished, it got hindered, so now it's kind of hard for me to feel confident in myself, to express myself freely. Remember, the 5th house also represents dating and casual flings. So it could also manifest that your first rejection, especially in your childhood, kind of also stays in your heart to the point that you're growing up. Like, remember when we're all children, when we're all younger, and we have a crush in school, and then we write on a piece of paper, do you like me, or would you go out with me? Check yes, check no. Like, remember those corny love notes? Like, these people, you could have like wrote one of these to your crush, all nervous and all scared, and gave it to your crush, and then got the paper back and opened the paper, and the box was checked, no, I don't want to go out with you, or no, I don't like you. Like, that rejection of feeling that heartbreak in your younger years could also make you have a low self-esteem in yourself, make you look at yourself different, make you look at yourself and value yourself different. So the wound growing up, coming from your childhood, is your self-esteem, is your creativity. You being able to look at yourself as like, I am good enough to shine, I'm good enough to express myself. So if you don't work on these things, you grow up and always be like, you always have, these people are really talented, but you always have these talents and you will hide it. You won't express it out so much. And also in relationships, you kind of bring your heartache, your rejection from their past relationships into your new one, and it'll kind of tarnish that relationship too. So understand that all this means that when it comes to your inner self-motivation, your inner self-esteem, your inner self-creativity, your inner self-expression, that wound, that vulnerability is, I'm not good enough, or I'm afraid to express it, or I wanted attention growing up, I didn't get it, so now I'm not even going to show anybody what I'm good at, I'm not even going to show anybody how good I am. Or it could be the extreme opposite, or as in like you're always trying to overly express yourself, overly do things for attention, overly seeking validation from people because you didn't get the validation within yourself. So what Chiron is teaching y'all is to understand that to validate yourself, don't look outwardly for the validation. Don't be too hard on yourself, as in like, these people are, y'all have extreme talents and gifts, but if you're hiding it, if you're afraid to express it, you're tarnishing your Chiron energy, you're tarnishing your blessings. Y'all are here to learn to master and overcome self-esteem issues, master and overcome confidence issues, creativity issues. Like I said, y'all are extremely talented and extremely creative. But what happens with the Saturn Uranus energy put together is y'all be pessimistic on yourself. Y'all remember the times when you were younger, when you wanted to do things, you couldn't do it. Let's say you wanted to play sports when you were younger, to express yourself through sports, and your parents was like, nah, we can't do that. This is not what the family's about. Or if you wanted to do drama or go in plays and do things like that, and your parents kind of tarnished that and kind of told you not to, you can't do that, you can't do that. All that pain, all that wound, all that vulnerability from your childhood could stem up into your adulthood and to make you really block yourself from expressing yourself freely, make you block yourself from expressing yourself as you naturally should, as we all naturally should. So how to heal yourself from this is to understand that you are good enough, to really understand where this insecurity is coming from, to heal yourself, which is validating yourself as in you are able to do what you want without having to make sure that people like it, or without having to make sure people are okay with it. It's like y'all could do things and always seeking validation. And if you don't get the validation and the attention that you crave, you just shut down. You don't want to show nobody. You want to do nothing. You just want to stay in your own little shell kind of thing. So how you help others by healing yourself is people will look at you and they could see your talent. They could see, every time I see a Chiron in a 5th house person, especially 5th house, when I see Chiron in a 5th house person, and I look at them without talking to them, I could see like their talent. I could see how they have that inner light. I could see it, but then they don't feel it within themselves, so they will hide it. They will kind of tarnish it. They'll kind of cover it up. So a lot of times y'all have talents that y'all can express out, but you don't feel like you can. You don't feel like you're worthy of expressing it out. You don't feel like people will like it. You just don't feel right about what your talents are. So Chiron here is pushing you to show you like, look, express yourself freely. Don't be afraid. Don't seek validation so much with your creative talents, with your gifts. In dating, don't carry on your past rejections. Don't carry on your past heartaches into the new relationship. Like, understand that you have to heal yourself by validating your own self. Self-love. Love your own self. Validate yourself. Keep in mind that we all have gifts and talents. We all have flaws and things that are positive about us. Don't take the heartaches in the past. Don't take the wound, the tarnish of your self-esteem in your childhood, carried on into your adulthood, that you're actually not spreading your gift and sharing your light with others. Y'all have a true inner light that needs to shine. It got dimmed as a child. It got dimmed as when in your younger years. It got rejected. It got tarnished. It got broken in your younger years. Chiron is showing you to heal yourself. And once you heal yourself and validate yourself and truly know that, look, I can express myself how I want to. I'm talented. I'm beautiful. I'm this. I'm that. When you do this, I am. When you do these I am affirmations and actually freely express your gift and talents, you will realize that people will look up to you like, damn. People that also have self-esteem issues will actually look up to you, and you will actually be like a motivating factor for them to heal themselves. Remember, Chiron, the glyph is a key. So the key to unlocking your potential to healing others is by healing yourself first. So y'all could be great at showing people what they're good at, showing people what their gifts are, putting people on a pedestal to like kind of push people to kind of get out there, and this is what you're good at. Show the world that y'all could really like help motivate people to lift them up, because you know what it feels like to have your self-esteem tarnished. You know what it feels like to have your self-esteem looked down upon in a way. So like I said, y'all creative abilities is gonna thrive only after you stop doing things for validation. Only if you stop doing things for recognition, rather than doing things because you just naturally are good at it, or because you naturally want to be creative, or you just naturally want to express yourself. So these people, you will find a lot, can be overly expressive of themselves, like I said, for the validation, or to be really shy and to kind of hide their gifts. So if you know somebody with a Chiron in the 5th house or Chiron in Leo, and they're not really expressing themselves. They don't have that self-esteem. They don't kind of have that creativity that's out there. Kind of show them and push them to like, look, you have it inside you. Don't look in the past so much. Don't look in your childhood so much about what happened in your childhood. Be able to put yourself out there and express yourself freely. Because y'all do have natural, talented gifts. A lot of times it's shunned and hidden. Just get yourself out there and push your creativity out there without thinking about that validation factor, without thinking about, am I good enough? Is this good enough? Without putting that pessimistic attitude into it. But once you overcome these things, you will notice that your gifts, your talents, gets you a lot of attention. It gets you a lot of recognition. Even though y'all might not always like being in the center of attention because it kind of stems you back to your childhood, and it kind of sparks up that fear of when you wanted to express yourself, it kind of got shunned. Even though you might not always want attention, understand that your gifts are going to naturally give you attention, going to naturally give you recognition only after you have healed yourself internally, only after you have told yourself, given yourself permission to actually express yourself freely. A lot of times, like I said, these people will not give themselves permission to be expressive, to have fun, to go on dates, to do things that are like fifth house energy, like playful fun. They won't give themselves permission. They'll be pessimistic on themselves. They'll be hard on themselves. They will block themselves from actually expressing these fifth house energy. The fifth house, Leo energy, is all about lighting, shining your light, being the sun, and being warm, being that light that shines to people and they feel warm with your energy. People will love your artistic ability. People will love your creativity. So the more you dive into your creativity, the more you dive into in whatever you're good at. Let's say you wanted to get tattoos. Well, let's say you want to have a change your color of your hair growing up and it got shunned. Like all these things, whatever way you want to express yourself the way you want to express yourself without thinking too deep about, will people like it? Am I good enough? That's like the main key for this placement, is to express yourself the way you truly want to without being pessimistic on yourself. And when you're doing this, you'll be healing others who have the same problem as you growing up, and they'll look up to you for motivation. Like, damn, look at that person. Look what they overcame. Look where they are now. You will just naturally be able to be in the forefront, be in the limelight of being yourself naturally without having to think so deep about the past, about the childhood traumas, and about the childhood pain. So that's my video on Chiron in the 5th house. Hope y'all enjoyed that. My next video is going to be on Chiron in the 6th house, and you already know I'm about to go in. If you have subscribed to my channel, appreciate all y'all for real, you already know. But if you still haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and handle that one time for your boy. Don't forget to drink your water, mind your business, and be safe out here. It's your boy, Lil Finesse Jiggy Hippie. I'm going to see all y'all when I see y'all. Peace.